First of all, I'd like to thank PAM Sarawak chapter for inviting me on behalf of my firm, DDR Architects in Berhad. We are quite new actually. Our firm was formed in 2014. This year is our 6th year. Okay, I'll just go straight to the lecture. Okay, to begin, I would like to quote IMP, the famous architect who designed the Louvre in Paris, where he said, life is architecture, and architecture is the mirror of our life. So in our daily life, we are governed by buildings that we design, that we plan. So they are saying that says we design, we shape our building, and the building shape us. Philip Johnson, a famous American modernist architect, says we all see the world differently, and thank God for that. Otherwise, what a boring world this would be. In our design, we try to celebrate different opinion, different culture. So I'm going to show you how we try to showcase and celebrate local culture into our design. We are very fortunate that Sarawak, we have so many different group of people, and they have different culture that we try to celebrate in our design. First of all is this one of our first project, DBQ branch office at Jalan Depot, Kuching. We were appointed as an architect to design a new office, which is actually a branch office for Dewan Bandaraya Kuching Utara, where the motto is untuk masyarakat berbudaya, is towards a cultured society. So we are thinking that we need to showcase a cultural element that related to DBKU area. So we try to refer to the history of Kuching City. We start to go through some books. There are a lot of interesting books around in the library. We found these amazing photos of old Kuching City. And then we came across this book by Margaret Brooke, where she described her life in Sarawak. She was married to the second White Raja, Charles Brooke. So in this book, she described how she tried to adapt to the local culture. And there's a photo of her wearing this Malay dress, complete with keringkam shawls, with her friends. And there's a lot of photos in the book that really interest us. So today, this shawl is used by Malay, Sarawak Malay. It's only available in Sarawak for the wedding ceremony. It's very famous and it's very expensive. And we refer to the Sarawak Kena series on Tudung Keringkam, a very detailed research done by Kamen Salem, where in his book, he mentioned that there are certain flowers that's available in Kuching that has inspired the embroiderer to put the motif into the design. For example, the bunga kenanga shown in this motif, and the bunga Tanjung, which is widely available at Kampung Tanjung within the BKU area. So with this idea of incorporating the motif into the design, we try to articulate the facade with this motif. And the design of the building with the lighting to enhance the motif at night. This is the photo showing the newly completed building at Jalan Depot. And as you can see, we try to express the pattern of the shawl into our structural element. This one is the corridor, where you see this part of the motif is shown as this sun shading device of the corridor. And also, we repeat it in our structure. And this is the surface of the motif as part of facade articulation. And as you can see, the fabric is actually transparent. So when you are in the enclosed space by these motifs, although you are enclosed, yet you can still see a glimpse of outside world. As what Margaret Brooke described in her book, that she was taught how to wear the krimkam shawl in a traditional manner, where you need to cover one part of your eyes, because the fabric still allow you to see the outside view. See the pattern of the motif cast as shadows onto the floor. So that's how we try to showcase the culture element of DBKU in this design. Okay, another project is this pedestrian overhead bridge in Limbang. Most of my projects are located in Limbang and Lawas. This is one of the first. If you go to Limbang, the symbol is a buffalo. This statue, you can find it at this entrance of the town. The reason was, Limbang was the rice bowl of Brunei before it became Sarawak district. And then every household must have at least a buffalo to be used in the daily farming activities. So this is our site. The site is actually a very tiny triangle space here, and to connect to the Limbang Plaza, a shop house area, and Tamu Limbang. It is located at the junction of Jalan Wong Sap N, Jalan Bangkita, and Jalan Bongsio. This is site is shaded as colored area, red colored. This is the Limbang Plaza. Another view. This area now is being developed as Limbang Waterfront. So we break down the land use of the area, where on this part, red shaded area is Limbang Plaza, where you're going to find shopping malls. And this part is the Purnama Hotel. It's a very famous hotel in Limbang. And this is government office and the multi-story car park. While this area, you find a lot of shops and banks. And this blue shaded area is the Tamu and Limbang Waterfront. The Tamu is very important for tourists to buy souvenirs whenever they go to Limbang, especially the Bruneian. So the task is to link all these three different zones by a bridge, a pedestrian bridge. Looking at this in 3D form, we need to bring up the pedestrian from the ground level up to a certain level here, higher level, and connect it to the center of this green turf area. And then there should be a connection on the first floor of this Limbang Plaza and to the first floor of Tamu. So due to the site constraint, because of very limited space for us to locate our structural element, so we come up with these floor plans, where from the hotel of Limbang Plaza, going to the center point, and from shop house also meet there in the middle, and towards this Tamu. When we presented this to the local community, they asked us whether we got the idea from Cap Kaki Tiga. I didn't understand what does it mean. What he meant was the shape looked like this. So now they're giving the nickname of the bridge as Jambatan Cap Kaki Tiga. So that's on the planning side. We need to design the facade. The strategy is to make this bridge to become an important landmark for Limbang. So we look at the idea of repeating the statue element. We try to bring in the horns, the buffalo horns, into the facade design. So this is the section of this bridge, and the 3D illustration where the bridge will connect to the Limbang Plaza and the shop house and the Tamu. There will be a pedestrian ramp here that allow the disabled people to use the bridge from the Limbang Plaza. Another view from the shop house area, from Jalan Buang Sion. This is the Tamu, first floor, and connected to the Lembang Plaza. Another view from the shop house area. So we try to make this part of the bridge to be an important intersection and also a new landmark for Lembang town. A view from the aerial view of the bridge. A view at night. This is one of our efforts to celebrate the local culture into the design of the bridge. Next project is Pasar Tamu Lawas. This Pasar Tamu is located at the previous site of Pasar Tamu. The site is very challenging because the shape is like a trapezoid, and we were asked to arrange the site planning in a proper manner, in orderly form. This is showing the previous building of Pasar Tamu. Every fortnightly they have Pasar Tamu Besar, where some sellers from Sabah also come bring their goods to be sold at the Pasar Tamu. Lawas is very famous with ikan tahai. Whenever people go to Lawas, they'll always bring ikan tahai back as their souvenirs. The background of ikan tahai is actually the fishermen need to find ways to survive during monsoon season because they cannot catch fish during monsoon season. So during where there's a lot of fish, they will try to produce a small fish to preserve some source of income during the monsoon season. And the ikan tahai then developed. They produced a lot of local delicacies using the ikan tahai as the raw material. So we are looking into the process of making ikan tahai. We went to the smoke house where you can see a lot of woods being cut as to be burned as the firewood for making the ikan tahai. They need these fresh ikan tamban for ikan tahai making, and need to be clean and arranged in this tray, and then will be smoked for 24 hours, and then you have the product of ikan tahai. So we try to celebrate this icon of Lawas in our design, where as a metaphor, we like to relate how fishermen or human beings try to survive and how fish survive in the water. We study the anatomy of fish. Water flow into the mouth for the respiratory system, and the water, it is full of oxygen. We go through the operculum, and these gill arch with filaments will absorb the oxygen into the whole system. We try to use this metaphor of fish symbolized by the fish eye and the fish gills, and then how this system absorb the income for the sellers. And then we try to relate the whole complex to the town by originate the radius of this arrangement to the important center of this landmark of Gasing, Bulatan Gasing, and the axis, develop the axis. These are the accommodation provided at the main building. We have office, surau, toilets. This section shows the space relationship where the main building, the fish eye, related to the fish gills and another bigger fish gill at the back. Currently, this phase 1 already completed and the phase 2 will be tendered soon. This part here will be used for the Tamu Besar, and the upper level will be used for the car park. This is the full 3D models showing the Tamu Lawas in relation to the Bulatan Gasing. Another view, perspective view of the Tamu, the full scale of Tamu, full face of Tamu Lawas. View at the back. And this car park will be screened with this sun shading device, where every part of here will be articulated with so-called ikan tahai scale, the fish scale. And we soften the facade with some vertical landscape element. The view at the back. So the construction start for the phase 1. This is the fish eye area, the main building. We use a lot of steel structure. Whenever we go to Lawas, we fly using the twin otter, the mass wing twin otter, and we are fortunate to be able to take pictures from the aeroplane itself. And this is one of the view taken during the construction period. And the workers start to weld all the steel member and start to install it to the whole building. I'll show you the progress. There's a lot of steel being used in this construction. Another view, the fish eye and the fish gills area. This is the bulatan gasing that I mentioned just now, an important landmark of Lawas. Another view of the structure. This is interior view of the structure where they start to install the roofing system. A view from the roof portion of the covered Tamu. As you can see the joints, because the steel structure was prefabricated at the factory and bring to the site, and they need to join it by welding it. Top view, when the roof start to be installed. And this is the view of the structure of the Tamu, where the business is going to happen. And this is the top view of the phase 1, when it's nearly completed. Aerial view from at the back. And another view, aerial view. You see the connection, the fish eye and the fish gills. We try to simulate using the color of the roofing material. Detail of the roof of the fish eye area. Whenever we communicate with the contractor, we try to use this name like fish eye, fish gills area, rather than saying main building or Tamu area. This is the completed building. These photos were taken last week. This is actually the toilet area. The toilet, we try to make it a very open area, airy and very bright. We try to go away from the normal expectation where public toilet has to be normally very dark, humid and smelly. So we try to make the toilet to be very open and bright. View at the night with the lighting inside this fish eye area. This is the view of the fish gill area. We try to provide a lot of natural ventilation with this refer back to the fish respiratory system where they have the filament that absorb the oxygen. So this allow natural air to pass through freely. At the night, this ceiling become light reflector with this shape. This is the view of the interior of the center, the fish eye, where we install the giant fan. This area will be used for exhibition and other event. And view of the Pasar Tamu from far, where it's become another important landmark of Lawas. Our next project is Heart of Borneo Interpretation Center, Kayangaran Forest Reserve in Lawas. The Heart of Borneo is actually an agreement between 3 countries, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Brunei, to jointly manage the remaining forest that has not been touched and to manage it sustainably. The idea is to protect the flora and the fauna in our forest, and also to protect the people who live within the area. So the brief is to design a building that will comprise of gallery and office. The site is located at the Kayangaran Forest Reserve. This is the South China Sea. This will be going to Kota Kinabalu. And this is the Lawas town. This shows the map of the Kayangaran Forest Reserve, which is about 1,165 hectares, where you can find this type of wildlife within this Kayangaran Forest Reserve. It's about 5 kilometers, and this is our site, view from top. Okay, if you look at the forest, what you can see from the air is a network of trees, a lot of trees, giving protection to the life underneath the canopy. If you look from the ground, you can see the canopy being supported by columns of trees. So the main idea in our design is to express this protection, because HOB, Heart of Borneo, is talking about protecting the remaining forest that we have in Borneo. So the idea is protection, and we got the idea from the actual nature, where the trees actually protect the flora and fauna from the sun, from the rain. And we translate it into our building, where the canopy protect the occupants and the exhibits in the gallery. And so we try to look at the nature. This is the seed of Billion wood, which is only available in Borneo. Where the seed, it has outer layer that protect the seed. So the idea is to protect the spaces underneath the roof, and we want to express the protection by the roof as how the canopy of the forest protect the flora and fauna underneath it. This is our site plan, the building, the car park area, and these are all greens area. The floor plan, the ground floor plan, as you enter the building at the lobby, there's a gallery at this side, to your left-hand side. You enter the gallery, you enjoy the exhibition inside here, and there's an audio-visual room, and then there's a souvenir shop. At the end of your journey, you're going to end up at the souvenir shop to enable you to buy some souvenirs. And then there are a few other spaces, multi-purpose room and cafe, and staircase going to the first floor, where on the first floor is the office for the forestry department. The section showing the space relationship, the gallery, the office, lobby, and the multi-purpose room. The construction started, piling, and then again, we have the opportunity to take photos from Twin Otter aircraft whenever we fly to Lawas. And this construction continue with the roof installation. And the shape of the roof start to come in. We want to express the protection idea. We want to show it in the roof, on our roof design. This is the gallery, protected by roof, and the installation of the roofing material. Another view from the aircraft. And here, the shape of the roof start to is finalized in form of the roofing material. And this is the front elevation. Here, we want to show how important the roof is protecting the space underneath. And we want to make the roof look like an organic shape rather than normal roof shape when we try to mimic the nature. And the oblong shape, we try to mimic the billion wood seed, because heart of Borneo is actually a very small step of protecting the forest, which one day this center will educate the young generation to appreciate our natural forest. And then the detail of the roof, and the view of the roof from the car park area, and the whole building. Okay, another project that we did here, actually in UNIMAS, we have done the design of the proposed student launch at Faculty of Language and Communication. This is our collaborative work with RKD Architects. We did it together. I think we are somewhere here, and the site is there. This is the site located at the corner of this faculty. It enjoyed the direct view to the lake. The study of the sun path. So view from site towards the next building. And this is the site. The faculty of the faculty building. And the area of the site is only about 300 square meters. And our brief is to provide cafe and gallery, a fresco, and mini library on top. So the design language, we try to repeat the curvature of the existing part of the building into the design. And to capture the view towards the lake, and to provide inside-outside relationship between the inner space to the outer space. And to do that, we use the lightweight construction in our design. And we studied the surrounding context, where you see a lot of curve, shape, and try to repeat this UNIMAS color into the design. This is our ground floor plan, the cafe, gallery area. This entrance from the faculty itself. The student lounge with the alfresco. This is the mezzanine floor plan, where we have the mini library, IT area, and that overlook the cafe underneath. The view from outside. And here we try to repeat the UNIMAS color, blue, yellow, and red, and try to play with the shape of the structure, the lightweight construction, and the elevation at the right side. Exterior perspective. This will be the outdoor communal area with some benches. Another perspective from outside. In this design, we try to express the lightness of the construction method. Okay, this is the perspective of interior, the cafe on the ground floor, where we propose to use the raw concrete look like cement rendered. The cafe arrangement, there's the spiral staircase to the mezzanine floor. The arrangement in the gallery, the cafe. And then this is the alfresco area, which is open to the view to the lake and have some vegetation inside. The mezzanine floor, where there are books, mini library, and some computer to be installed. Okay, those are the works that we have done so far. Some of them are completed and some of them are under construction. So all these different projects give us different kind of satisfaction. as what Zaha did, was quoted. Different projects give you satisfaction in different ways. Currently, we are focusing more on private jobs. Now we are involved in some projects in Kuala Lumpur, and I want to show you the current works that we did. We are still doing it in police. So that's the current that we are doing now, where the client is also the owner of one of the mobile service phone provider, the XOX company. So we hope it's going to materialize within this year. With that, I would like to thank you.